Mitchell. Good afternoon and welcome to the Finance Committee, the Children's Services Council of Leon County. It is 12:56 and I am calling the meeting to order. Let's see. Ms. Whitley, could I get a roll call, please?
Ms. Richards. Here. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Hannah.
Here.
Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Mr. Mitchell.
I hear it.
Hello, Rocky.
And next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. If I could get a motion.
I move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very nice. Ms. Whitley, do we have any general public comment?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Just checking.
We have no.
No, I have no cards. I
requests?
have no comment cards.
Very nice. I am going to take this part and the agenda and turn it over to Mr. Grayson and Ms. Snyder as we review the financials. I know that everybody got these ahead of time. So if you've got questions, we'll make this sort of conversational. There is nothing that has stood out to me. I went through it all, unless you count office supplies and the fact that we did not think to budget for paper and a lot of paper, but that was the only thing that stood out to me. So Ms.
We
Snyder.
actually put the paper in the wrong place.
Okay.
So we've got to reclassify that.
There is nothing that stands out and we are well within our budget. And I applaud the executive team for keeping us that way. But go ahead, Ms. Snyder.
If you turn to page 3 on the agenda, you will see the balance sheet. You will see the total assets and the total liabilities, which are balanced at the 13,808.405.68. If we keep moving on page 5, you will see the profit and loss budget to actuals from October 2024 to July 2025. And as Mr. Mitchell stated, you will notice that overall, all of our line item categories fall within trending for meeting the actual budgeted amount. We do have a couple of areas that are a little off. You will notice in the office supplies where we need to reallocate the purchase of our paper. And then a couple of areas with virtual platform and managed IT, where we had an additional team member that started around the same time in April. And so therefore, we're taking that into account and it'll be adjusted for the next fiscal year to be able to make sure that we cover that and budget accordingly. And then if we turn to page 7, you will see the profit and loss. It'll just list out all the months from October to July of 25, and that's the end of this. So if you have any questions, by all means, please let us know.
As long as we're on profits and loss, this is more profits. Item B of the review of the financials is the income we've received from our FL class account. You want to do any highlight? I mean, we're doing
Doing well.
Yes,
We're
we're
doing
doing
well.
well.
You go to page 9, you'll be able to see the report from FL class through August 31st of 2025, where you will see that the overall year-to-date earned income for the FL class accounts is $417,443.62. And you will notice also that there's a withdrawal of about $800,000, but that's what we do, withdrawing from FL class to Primary Meridian whenever we're doing program investment payments. So we just transfer it at that time.
Very nice. Thank you, Ms. Snyder. After the FL class, there is a programs funding spreadsheet. And I hope that we have finally perfected the way in which it's easy to digest the programs that we have funded, that we are currently funding, and are planning on funding in the future. And again, Dina, I tip my hat to you for keeping this straight. But if you would like to walk through this.
Sure, I absolutely can. So the last time let me make sure I found it, the program's funding update was provided was at our June meeting, so it was actually at our July meeting. Started in May, and so all of those payments were made as contracts were being executed between July and August. And then, of course, the regular payments, we have our programs that submit reporting July 15th. So some of those payments fall in line after we do the review and reconciliation of expenditures. They fall in line to be paid between August and September. So the ones being reflected here are the ones that were paid through August 30th of 25.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder, is there a link for this? And the reason I ask, if I wanted as a board member, I see they're organized by categories, right? Family support, development, readiness and the like. But what if I wanted to see it based upon the year or based upon the organization, which may be funded across a variety? For example, I mean, I've even heard board members to be concerned about organizations receiving more than one disbursement from us, but because they go across, depending on a community of our size, right, you can imagine that Boys and Girls Club would qualify to be funded in more than one category. So if I wanted to see them organized chronologically in terms of the awards when the awards were made, compared to just family supports, is there a place where I could go in and see this, or is this just a?
Send it as the.
So this is
an
a
Excel
PDF.
spread, right?
We can send it as an Excel.
Yeah.
And I would have to request for whatever however I want it organized.
I
We
love
can
the
set it
idea.
up so you can filter.
Filter it.
So there is a place I can go and access this. Or you
No,
can create
but
it.
we will do that.
Yes.
Okay.
We can make it available in an Excel format. It is PDF for purposes of the meeting, but I maintain the Excel spreadsheet, so it can be made available that way with the filters running across and on the side. And you
Okay.
can filter it as you'd like with the year and on the same.
It's a great idea, Mr. Chair, and I.
We'll lock the cell
You carpet this.
so they don't accidentally change the.
So, one particular event that I do want to bring up, and Dina and I have talked about this as the executive director and I, there was an entity, community construction, I may be messing this up, but that we funded under the SIPS program to the tune of $15,000, who has never performed the work. To the credit of Mrs. Green and Mrs. Snyder, we have done it today, did everything in their power to try to track this organization and its director down, and have not been successful. I took it upon myself to get both of his phone numbers, one of which is no longer in service, the other of which I have left no fewer than probably 12, maybe more voicemails. He must be checking them because his voicemail is not full, unless it's just me. In which case he's probably tired of getting them. nonetheless, we we've worked with another organization who showed up, took responsibility and held themselves accountable and hard at work paying us back. And it's never missed a payment. And I was, and I think rightfully so, rough on them. This is someone who will not show up, will not return our phone calls, and basically has stolen $15,000. In addition to doing work with us, turns out he's also done work with a program the city runs. And so I asked Ms. Snyder to reach out to the city to find out, hey, did he perform any of the work he committed to do for them? And I don't know if the city is.
Not yet. I reached out yesterday after
Right.
the discussion, so I'm waiting for updates, but I did ask if they would be able to provide a report just under metrics, if they were able to meet accountability as it pertains to the contract and grant expectations and the funding they receive.
Ms. Snyder, just so that I'm getting the name correct, so that I'm not messing it up and somebody doesn't say, oh God, is that the program that I signed up for? What's the name of the program?
It's Community Carpentry USA.
Community Carpentry USA. And the gentleman who's the director,
It's Mr. David Van Williams.
thank you very much.
And
Yes, sir, I know.
okay. All right, thank you.
I would like to wait and hear back from the city to find out what has been going on with Mr. Van Williams and the city. That is David Van Williams with Community Carpentry USA. And find out whether or not he's lived up to their agreement and continue to find a method by which we can recover the $15,000 that Mr. Van Williams owes to us.
What's his name again?
David Van Williams with It's Community Carpentry USA.
When did we fund them?
They were funded under SIPs very early on,
Very early.
very early on, and
Early on. But
I will refer
first
you.
started, it was like
like in
either our first or
2024.
either our first or second
It was
round.
our second round of SIPs.
Yeah.
And
City's probably not gonna talk. City's not gonna probably divulge anything.
Well, it was over the
the
summer.
relationship with them, they're pretty honest.
He was supposed to be doing the work over the summer, this last summer. I mean, it's just been a month or two.
It was in March of 2025.
Like I said, March of
2025.
Because we funded in March 2025?
No.
No, Neighborhood First with the city.
Thank you. We will keep you posted. I'd be happy to say it again. Okay. Are there any other questions or comments as it relates to the program funding update? We will make sure that each member of the council gets this in Excel format and can play around with it so you can look at it by chronologically and by vendor that we have funded. The next item is the merger between Prime Meridian, who is our current bank, with Mid-Florida Credit Union. Ms. Schneider?
Actually, that's me. Yes. So we were notified, and I did email the entire council that Prime Meridian is in the process of merging with Mid-Florida Credit Union. There is a Mid-Florida Credit Union that I know of that is actually being built as a facility on Capitol Circle. And so I did reach out to our primary contact, Mary Stafford. They are waiting on all of those merger documents because, of course, as you can imagine, my concern is we have all set up. If numbers are going to change, this, that, and the third, as they say, as the old people say. So with that, I will be working, and Ms. Snyder will be working with our treasurer, Mr. Mitchell, to determine if maybe we want to do an what do we call it? a request for information regarding banking. We do not pay anything. There are no fees associated with our account. But to Mr. Mitchell's point, there are lots of people that would like to be in business with us from a banking standpoint. So.
And who
Sure.
have tools that they can, bring to us. Local banks, national bank, it's a good, healthy thing to go through anyway, and we may end up staying right where we are.
One comment, it's my understanding that, credit unions have some kind of limitation on the amount or whether they can hold, government funds. So I don't know how that quasi-government, how that will work, but that's something to look at.
So I did check our statute.
Right, which
and
just changed.
Okay.
Does allow.
Okay.
Huh?
Our statute does allow for credit unions.
It didn't used to. The year before last, not this past session, but actually, this past session, it was one or the other.
For all government agencies or just?
It's really for qualified public depository is what, it's really with the state's treasury. But then the way the law was written, you can use a credit union. They do have a limitation though, in terms of deposit that is, it's with what. There is a provision that doesn't allow us to be, their biggest deposit and. Yeah, there is, Mr. Grayson is right, there is still a provision.
We're in a similar boat because we have
Prime Meridian,
a lot of people that, well, and a lot more money. And now to the question is with this merger and then becoming a credit union, what does that mean?
for you all, you may be over. I would look at the statute, but you guys may be over.
When was the timing?
Oh, when did I get that email? Mr. Mitchell.
So when did Mary say this was happening? It's not for a while, right?
It would be in the spring. So the merger is expected to be completed sometime in the spring.
We have time to solicit, financial institutions that would be willing to. By the way,
But most of our money's in FO class anyway, right?
Except as is needed. The Early Learning Coalition is going through the same thing, not because of Prime Meridian, but because it's a good process to go through. And might be able to provide services at no cost to Ms. Snyder and Mr. Grayson that will make their job a little bit easier.
What I may offer, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Is that we would have a conversation with this committee and Mary Stanford in terms of what the implications are, along with our attorney. Because what I don't want to do, because it is still a local institution, and major depositors like us were to leave without cause. Now, if it's contrary to our statute or it puts us in some, if we can't legally remain, then I certainly understand that. But if we can, then I would like to find out more about what this will mean in terms of amplified services. Will there be new amenities that come through this larger acquisition? I wouldn't want to I would like to find out more again, but it's based upon the statute that permits us to be there, based upon the size of the deposits, whatever other considerations those are. But I'm not ready to just walk away because, again, that is a local firm with local people who serve in our community, who we know. It was based upon relationships that we went to them to begin with.
Right, we never did. This is, that having nothing to do with Prime Meridian and their merger, because I do think that they are qualified to be our bank. This is a nice time, though. We've never done any sort of a procurement for these services, and I promise you, this is an incredibly competitive market.
Oh, of course.
In the just local banks, and they were.
I love local.
They were the direct beneficiaries of a lot of money for a long time, far more than $800,000. So again, I'm a big Prime Meridian fan. I will tell you that the bank I represent will not be submitting a proposal. So it leaves open, again, loads of banking services just to provide information to us. Not to go through an actual procurement unless there's something in the information that they provide that stands out and says, why wouldn't we at least see what they can do for us? But yes, we're not doing anything without it coming to the finance committee for consideration. But seeking information from financial institutions is probably a healthy process. At that point, we can make whatever decision based on the facts that we have in front of us. Standing meeting, is this similar to the
Similar
executive?
to executive, just wanting to get a standard meeting on the book, or you want to keep it at this time on this date?
Yeah, and I like the idea of doing it right after the executive committee because I mean, two of us are on it and is
Listen,
it,
I work at your pleasure,
Well-
whatever works for you guys, it works for us.
so,
And I-
Mr. Chair, is that good for you?
And if you, since you did lunch this month, I'll do lunch next month.
Okay,
Okay, so we will keep it on the Wednesday prior to,
you bake it.
yeah, we might move to 12:45 to your.
Okay.
So we can give executive a good 45.
Because these folks who, yeah.
Right.
So maybe we do 12 o'clock for the executive and 1 o'clock, and that gives everybody a chance to get here a few minutes early.
And
that work?
get lunch.
And they're welcome to join us in the space, start having lunch.
Right,
Yeah.
We're all.
12 and 1, right, yes.
Then that's what we'll do.
very nice.
And then we just pay attention to the notice. The time that we notice us with, we're going live.
Yeah.
That's my fault. I should have. Kind of.
We got, the executive committee started right on, I mean, at
Oh, yeah.
11:59. The next meeting agenda,
Pretty standard.
yeah, it'll look very much like this. Okay,
That's really if there's anything that we aren't including that's no one they would like us to specifically use.
and that will also, everyone will have an opportunity to kind of play around with that Excel spreadsheet. So if there are questions that stand out.
I would like for us to talk about. One of the things that Mr. Watts brought up. Is counting when there are opportunities for emergency funding. There's been a couple talk about some criteria relative to that. We can put down the executive.
Are there any comments from any of the, oh, I'm looking over there because you guys are over here. I'm so used to you sitting over there. Yes, sir.
Where's our next general council meeting?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, general council meeting, 4:00, 6:00, first trimming.
And did we ever move on the other subcommittee?
Yes.
Strategic plan.
They'll present at that meeting.
Next Thursday.
Work group is what they.
Work group and then,
It's what's coming.
Work group.
and then our second trim hearing is the 25th, 5:15.
Well, hearing no other comments or questions, I will adjourn this meeting.
Wait, I do have some.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Glad you're here. So I had a chance during pre-planning, to talk to all of our pre-K teachers about rebound and recovery, get feedback. Yeah. Love you to death, love Brooke to death, but I wanted to hear directly from our practitioners. And they love it. They absolutely love it. But they did also say that at some point in time, once they've been trained, for new people coming on, we feel like it would continue to be appropriate. The people that have had it and it's always like, we got it now. And I didn't realize, but now, even now, teachers who have gone through a year or 2 years have the ability to not opt out, not the right word, but They're gonna have to
They
participate.
tell us what level of support that they need.
Do they need, right, so you could tailor it to them.
Yep, we do. to
Which
each
made me-
individual
Right,
teacher.
right, which made me feel a lot better, but I think we can start scaling back in my mind and just offer what support the new people would need coming forward, right?
And wasn't that? Is that how you presented it? Yeah,
That was always.
okay.
Yeah, and then the other thing, I would like to add to that, if I may, Superintendent Hannah, is we started in the public schools because it made sense and it was easy. Remember, we had this whole proposal and then the state provided this resiliency curriculum K through 12, I think it was. So we started in the school. So as we scale back what's happening in the public schools, we're gonna try to get it into the community early learning centers so that all the kids eventually are coming into the public school with the same set of tools.
Hey, speaking of it, this is just so that everybody knows. Remember, there was a great deal of consternation about Early Learning Coalition and school readiness dollars. Significant cuts that were made to our budget. As treasurer of both organizations, it scared me a little. Those dollars have been restored. And we continue to advocate for additional dollars to come to that part of the state, the Big Bend, which includes more than Leon County, but we are the majority of the funding. Even though we're a non-growth area, but that is good news to report for school readiness dollars, that we have found a way to essentially make us whole, and that's, oh God, such a relief. Trying to find, look, it's one thing to find $30,000. You try to find $7 million, and yeah. Advocacy goes a long way, it turns out.
For now.
Yeah.
Right,
By the way, I mean,
Well-
it's right, it's
we're good for now.
yes, just for now. There is always next year.
Yeah. I used to have a former assistant superintendent would say, don't borrow, worry. That means don't worry about what may or may not happen later. Be in the present, right?
All right, any other comments? All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.